Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, we're going to be doing a session with one of the winners of the 2 million download competition. So I'm literally joined here with me with Ben, who originally got in contact just to say that he found the productivity YouTube videos that I've done quite helpful for him. With his prize, his 60-minute session, we've just had a bit of a chat, and he wants to focus this on gym motivation. One of the things that I find, and I am one of these kind of weird people that love going to the gym, and what I find is that when I go to the gym, it helps me in two key ways. One, I feel good in the present, and secondly, I'm able to know that by going to the gym more consistently, it's giving a benefit, a payoff to my future self. So that's what we're going to be doing with Ben. We're going to be doing a motivation strategy linking positive emotions to working out, but secondly, creating a compelling vision of what he would want for his future self, but also to really maximize motivation, you need away from motivation and towards motivation. So in popular parlance, you would hear the carrot and the stick. So the stick is kind of the future that he wouldn't want, and then the carrot is the future that he would want. And then linking this to the idea of building momentum, getting the ball rolling. It's much easier to go to the gym. If you go to the gym very often, it's difficult to go to the gym if you've not been to the gym in a few weeks. Inertia is the opposite of momentum. When you build momentum, it becomes easier and easier to do. So this hypnosis session is really going to be based around getting into that rhythm, building momentum, and rewarding his future self. So if you're listening to this and you want to benefit from being motivated to work out more often and to have a confident, strong future version of you, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation, and as you exhale, just get a sense that tension, stress, anxiety is leaving your body in your outward breath. That's it. And notice that with your eyes closed, you can give more of your attention to the sound of my voice. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation, and as you exhale, just getting a sense that wherever tension is in your body, you can notice that and just decide to let it go, to release that tension now. Notice that your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier, muscles in the neck starting to loose, shoulders relaxing. That's it. And as your physical body relaxes, your mind becomes more active. You know this to be true because in those moments where you've been daydreaming, your body wasn't tense, your body was relaxed. So therefore, as your body relaxes, that daydream state of effortless imagination becomes activated. And I want you to recall a time where you were in nature, but not just any nature. I want you to imagine you were in a place of magnificent nature. Perhaps you can imagine yourself on a beach, This isn't a tropical beach. This is a beach towards perhaps the Arctic Circle. A place of impressive scenery, surroundings, nature in its rawest form. Maybe there's blue skies, the occasional cloud. And I want you to find somewhere on this beach where there's a chair. It doesn't have to be a comfortable chair, it could just be a beach chair, one of those foldable beach chairs. And I want you to imagine that you're about to sit on that foldable beach chair. Position your body. Look out at the ocean. And I want you to notice that somewhere in that ocean is perhaps a fragmented piece of a glacier. Almost like a giant ice sculpture bobbing in the water. Imagine the way that it moves in the ocean, in the sea, is almost hypnotic, moving from left to right. As you focus your attention on that incredible structure of ice there in the water, knowing that like an iceberg, majority of the mass is under the surface, and what you can see above the surface is just a glimpse of the entire scale of this ice. I want you to get a sense that in the same way that ice in water, the majority is below the surface, the same is true of the conscious and the unconscious mind. Your conscious mind, something you're aware of in the moment, is what is above the surface of the water, and everything else, your fears, your beliefs, your memories, your skills, are all beneath the surface. Everything you've ever experienced is there, locked in your unconscious mind. And there are moments in your life and parts of your life that motivation does not require effort. You don't need to motivate yourself to have breakfast in the morning. You don't need to motivate yourself to tie your shoelaces whenever they're undone. There's certain things that you just do as part of a routine, a habit, because you know that if you didn't do those things, a future version of you would be worse off for it. Like brushing your teeth. If you never brushed your teeth ever again, isn't there a future version of you with bleeding gums and missing teeth? And you don't think about the motivation required to brush your teeth because you do it every day. I want you to imagine that you already know how to be motivated. As you look at that ice floating in the ocean, I want you to imagine I'm about to count down from 10 to 1, and with each descending number you will find yourself going 10% deeper and deeper relaxed. And when I arrive at 1 and then 0, you will imagine that you've fallen asleep on that beach chair by the ocean in front of that floating ice in the water. 10, eyelids getting heavier and heavier and releasing that tension now. 9, any muscles in your forehead and your jaw, just become aware of it, and then on that outward breath, release that tension now. 8. As you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, just notice that those tiny muscles around your nostrils, around your windpipe, all relax now. That's it. 7, neck and shoulders all the way down to your fingers, releasing that tension now. 6, as you breathe in, even your internal organs are relaxing. 5, your heart relaxes, lungs relax, stomach relaxes. That's it. 4, going into your legs, releasing that tension now. 3, all the way down to your toes, 2, and then feel what it would feel like to drift off into a deep sleep there on that beach chair. 2 and then 1, just imagine drifting off into a deep sleep where you activate the power of your imagination now. And inside your imagination, I want you to imagine that it's the time of day that you would ideally want to go to the gym. Maybe that's the morning, maybe it's the evening. And I want you to think of what you would need to do in order to go to the gym. What clothes do you need to be wearing? What bag do you need to have packed? Do you need a towel? Do you need a water bottle? Whatever you need, imagine it's all there in front of you. And I want you to get a sense that this is the moment where you're thinking about going to the gym. And I want you to realize that you have a choice. Not just going to the gym on this one occasion, but going to the gym ever. I want you to create an image in your mind's eye that even though right now you're dressed for the gym, you have everything you need to go to the gym, I want you to imagine that there is a future version of you where from this point onwards you never ever go to the gym. I want you to imagine that the last time that you went to the gym was the last time you ever went to the gym. And imagine the timeline going forward where you never go to the gym again. In the short term, you just have a bit more time to yourself. In fact, physically, you would notice no differences at all, perhaps for the first few weeks or even few months. Because physical change is both improvement and the opposite and decline are gradual. Nobody notices the speed at which a tree grows because it grows incrementally, slowly. If you never went to the gym ever again, you wouldn't notice because it's happening so slowly, but there would be clues. Perhaps getting out of breath when you run for something that you need to get to. Perhaps catching a reflection in a shop window or a car window, seeing that you've got increasing amounts of body fat, that your facial shape is changing. As time goes on, you might notice that you just have less energy. Maybe there's certain clues in your health that you're not as healthy as you have been in the past. But the real difference will be 5 or 10 years from now of never having gone to the gym or in fact done any kind of exercise. Imagine it's 10 years in the future and you've not once exercised in 10 years. I want you to imagine that you are standing in front of a full-length mirror, just wearing swimming trunks or some shorts, and seeing your body shape in front of that full-length mirror. You notice that you're 10 years older, but more importantly, you notice other things as well. Perhaps you could look at yourself in that mirror and find something in your body shape that would give you clues that maybe you're weaker. And if that's true, let me know by nodding your head. Maybe there are clues in that reflection in that mirror that you have less energy, more fatigue. And if that's true, let me know by nodding your head. And maybe there is an insecurity to you. It will be subtle, but there will be clues in your facial expression or your body posture that this version of you that just avoids the gym, hasn't exercised in 10 years, Maybe there's clues that this version of you is shy, insecure, or just uncertain. And if it feels like that might be true, again, let me know by nodding your head. The opposite of strength is fragility. Not just weakness, but not being robust, not being strong. And maybe this version of you that has avoided the gym for such a long time is more delicate, more fragile. But also, that lack of confidence may be a reflection of a different body shape, something that you and only you would deem unappealing. And if you can see things in this body shape, this version of you that hasn't done any exercise for 10 years, looking at you in the reflection of that mirror that you would consider unappealing, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine stepping into that mirror so you become that person. Maybe feeling the excess body fat on your body. Imagine what it would be like to go for just a light jog and feeling that out of breath. Feeling fatigue and low energy. Feeling weak, less capable, that if someone asked you to kind of help carry something heavy like a sofa or heavy bags, you might struggle to do that. And I want you to imagine all the different scenarios in your life that if you had this body and if you lived this way, that would reach you to a point of threshold where you say, enough is enough. I don't want this body shape. I don't want this life. And imagine doing the things required to trigger that point, the point of threshold where enough is enough. I don't want this, and I'll do anything to change it. And when you're at that point that you do anything to change it, that you don't want this future, that you don't want this body, you don't want this weakness, let me know by nodding your head. And with that decision, find yourself going all the way back to the present. There in whatever clothes you would wear, just about to go to the gym, seeing that bag, perhaps a water bottle, a towel. I want you to get a sense that, imagine what it would be like to not just be reluctantly willing to go to the gym, but to have something click in your brain that says, nothing can stop me from going to the gym. That even if there was another lockdown and the gyms were shut, you would just buy the exercise equipment and work out from your home. Or you would go for runs outside under the sky. I want you to imagine, what would it be like for you if not only you were willing to go to the gym, but more importantly, nothing would stop you from working out. And if you're willing to try that part of you that is driven, determined, that desires to be the best possible version of you, if that part is willing to explore a different future, a different trajectory of your life, let me know by nodding your head. Imagine going to the gym later today. Imagine going to the gym tomorrow. And imagine that you've been going to the gym consistently, not every day, but consistently for 10 years. You would be stronger, you would be healthier, you'd have more energy. And I want you to imagine waking up in your body 10 years in the future, having consistently worked out, but not only that, but linking positive, powerful emotions to the idea of working out. Imagine that you're in wherever you're living then 10 years from now, standing in front of a full-length mirror, as a person that enjoys working out, that feels good working out, that feels strong and powerful working out, and notice your body shape as a person that enjoys taking your body and pushing beyond the limits. And if you see someone looking back that is strong, let me know by nodding your head. If you deem this person looking back to be more capable, more competent, let me know by nodding your head. Scan your body for where you feel that feeling of being capable, of being competent, of feeling strong. Perhaps as you see yourself, you can see that look in your eyes that this is a more determined version of you, a more powerful version of you. Feel that power inside you. Feel that determination within you. Because to go to a gym consistently means that sometimes you go even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is good, discipline is better. Discipline is doing the thing even when you don't really feel like it, because it gives you those benefits of power and determination. The leaders of the world don't do stuff when they feel like it. They do what's required. And as you unlock that leader within you, that determined, powerful, capable leader within you, you realize that the gym is just a metaphor for evolution, for growth. If you can lift heavy things, you can take on challenging problems. If you have the energy to run on a treadmill, you have the energy to get that schoolwork done, to complete that project, to complete that other goal that you have. It occurs to you that gym is just a metaphor for life. That if you can succeed in the gym, you can succeed in your life. That if you can move beyond comfort zones in the gym, you can move beyond comfort zones in your life. That if you can feel powerful when you see yourself in the reflection doing squats, then you can feel powerful making important decisions in your life. As you look at yourself in the reflection, this time in a gym, doing those barbell or dumbbell curls, feel that feeling of being capable and competent, and realize that that feeling of being capable and competent doesn't stay in the gym. It goes with you outside of the walls of the gym. So when you do other things, you feel capable and competent too. See yourself in the reflection of that gym mirror, doing shoulder presses, maybe with a barbell, maybe with a dumbbell. And as you see that version of you lifting those heavy weights above your shoulders, heavier than you thought possible, you can't help but feel strong. Because what is strength if it isn't doing something you didn't think you could do, exceeding your own expectations? But it is impossible to exceed your expectations in the gym and then not exceed your expectations in other areas of your life. If you feel powerful in the gym, you're going to feel powerful out of the gym. If you feel capable in the gym, you will feel capable when you leave the gym. If you feel strong in the gym, how can you not feel strong when you leave the gym? Lifting a weight that you didn't think you could do is no different from solving a problem that you thought was impossible. It's no different from achieving a goal that was beyond your reach when you first attempted it. If your unconscious mind now understands that the gym isn't somewhere you go to just feel a bit healthier, to get a little bit stronger. It's a training ground for your mind and your character. As your mind gets stronger, your life gets better. As you feel more powerful in the gym, you become more confident out of the gym. And people respond to that power, that competency, that feeling of being capable, because it affects your non-verbal communication, your facial expressions, your tonality. When you face adversity in real life, you instinctively have this idea that you can handle it. Like anything, it's just about getting that ball rolling. And I want you to make a commitment to yourself that you will get the ball rolling and keep it rolling. That you will push that roundabout of life until it starts moving by itself, and when it starts moving, you will keep it moving. And in doing so, you create not the possibility of a confident, powerful, capable future. It just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. What you do in the gym echoes in your life, and if you accept that to be true, let me know by nodding your head. And now it's time to leave the gym and leave the mirror, but take all of these resources with you, the feeling of strength, competency, discipline, determination and power. Take it all with you and find yourself back there on a chair, on a beach, looking up at a floating block of ice there in the ocean, and realize that the future is yours to take. You reap what you sow. The more you do, the more you get. And realize that with these resources, you could choose to have a future of insecurity and fatigue and weakness, or you could choose to have a future of strength and power and competency. And it isn't what you think, it's what you do. And realize that you've unlocked this desire to do even when you don't feel like it. And very soon, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. But first of all, you realize that the mirror, the gym, the beach, the ice are just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, and actually you're listening to my voice firmly in the present. You're back in the present, listening to my voice, and very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Realize that you're in your own physical body right now, all parts fully in the present, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.